All right. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to. Let me check my notes here. Total ASSnarchy. Okay. All right. Well, no points for the name here. Maybe the fleets can deliver. So the rules for this tournament are simple-ish. No repeat hulls. Every hull must be unique. There is a limit on how many super weapons can be in each fleet. A total of 4, it says. Defined as the chillblain, dakka dispenser, boundless weapons, and spellbind. I don't recognize any of those. I don't use a lot of these mods, so we're gonna learn together what a lot of this stuff does. Sorry. Super ships and things hidden in codex are not restricted, with the exception of the Erudition, Apologee, Perytonne, and Berzilius. It is allowed to remove ill-advised modifications from ships, and there are no officers. So, first up we have Pixie with Boys Bulbous Imperial Drones versus Lightning Cutie with Dragons and Fires. So, let's take a look at our ships. We have the Flame Wall, an Ashy class, with a bunch of cargo crates. Additional cargo capacity reduces deployment points. So, the deployment points are being reduced by a combination of, like, 9 here? Reduced by 3 if in a missile, synergy, composite, or universal slot. A flamer. And some railguns. Incense manufactured. Dust-like matter called incense, yada yada yada. Recharges automatically. The higher the level, the higher the ship's time dilation is. Maxed out at 20% time dilation. Incense capacitor is 100% of the ship flux dissipation plus 5% of the ship's flux capacitor. Incense regeneration rate. That is a whole bespoke mechanic that I don't think I can really parse how that's meant to work from just the tooltip here. Solace Core increases projectile energy weapon base range by 100 or 200. Increases flux cost for energy weapons. Okay. Unstable injector and hardened shields. Not really taking advantage of any of this, it looks like. I mean, other than the incense manufactured, I don't really know how that works. The Atticus class battle cruiser. We've got a shield projector. Oh. Shatterer artillery. 1400 high explosive. Some cargo crates. Lucifugus swarmers. Oh, infinite ammo swarm missiles. Oh no. 128 projectiles. Unending Tide Forge mod. Reduces fighter replacement time by 75%. Replacement rate loss from losses by 50%. Increase fighter damage taken by 100% and reduces fighter missile damage by 75%. It's got a bunch of Witchknot strike drones which have thermoblasters. 10,000 high explosive damage dealt to the ship firing it. 1,000 high explosive damage dealt to the target. I see. Javanica class, more incense, Solace Core, Boundless Contamination. Discovery of these boundless entities again, scientists quite the bit. Boundless weapon points per size reduced by 1, 2, or 4. Current boundless weapon points 4. Oh no, this isn't reduced. It's what? Demeli focused railgun. Oh! So this is like the Plague Bearer stuff. So the focused railgun provides the Boundless contamination. Shield shunt, heavy armor, yada yada yada. Focused railgun deals a good chunk of damage, some EMP damage, energy, instantly flame out missile when entering projectile aura. Really? Another Lucific Swarmer. No cargo containers on this one. Lavis class. Oh, this is the Javanica here is the Bemperor for this fleet. There's always a Bemperor in Pixie Code's fleets. The Carrier Omen is a Lavis class. The pair of GD Interceptors, more Witch Knots. Another Unending Tide. The Drone Trucker Baldric Mark II. More cargo crates. Unending Tide. Navralian ECM. More Witch Knots. Truckin' drones. More Witch Knots. Cargo containers. Micropulse repeaters. Another Unending Tide. Termi drones. Tannenbar class. Another cargo crate. Gravity driver. 1000 range. 400 damage kinetic. Overfed magazines. Doubles ballistic rate of fire. Increases ammo by 50%. Halves peak performance time. And it has... Oh, these are not Terminator drones. So it doesn't have the Terminator core, but it's got a Vulcan and an ion cannon. What do the cargo crates do? The cargo crates reduce the deployment points of the ship they're mounted on. Oh, sorry. I caught some sort of foul plague last week, and it's fucked up my lungs. So I've still got a bit of a cough. The idea is to not start wheezing and dying on stream, but we'll see. Warburn systems. Maintenance costs increased by 75%. A lot. Oh, this is a Gal Steel. Oh, I've not actually seen one of these in action. I forgot to check the abilities on any of these, because I'm not familiar with these ships. Like, we're going to spend a lot of time just going over ships, because there are no duplicate ships. So, we're going to have to spend time looking at every single one of these. Boost ship maneuverability depending on the ship flux level that can boost max speed and acceleration by up to 120%. Goodness gracious. AAF, oh, that's going to be terrifying with these Shatterers. Destruin Swarm. 12 tracking missiles that deal kinetic damage and discharge EMP bolts to missiles and fighters around them. Increase time flow on the ship and fighter damage by 50%. It's just burn drive. This one is targeting feed, hyperframe, improve overall performance, time dilation multiplied by 5, and discharges EMP to missiles and fighters around the ships. Once. Babarusa class. That is so many Witch Knots. What the fuck? External cargo crates, Lucifuguses, GD Interceptors, more Unending Tide. This is just a bomber fleet. Audiefarer. It's a little baby Odyssey. Aww. It's got more Witch Knots. It's not cute. Was the Brigador forgotten? Yes, I forgot about the Brigador. Maneuvering jets, cargo containers, Lucifugus, Witch Knots. You know how it works by now. Active flare launcher. Fast missile racks. Oh no. Shield projectors. Okay. Shield projectors on the Starliner is an interesting one. What the fuck is that? Erratic boost. Overload the mothership with immense force. Increase time dilation on mothership by 10% and ship's fighters by 20% for a short duration. More witch knots, more cargo containers. Proto-elotic focus beams. Hits on shield, hull armor, deal EMP arc, yeah. So, it's a frag tachyon lance? Beam consonance. Beam weapon damage increased by 20%, range reduced by 30%. Convert projectile energy or ballistic weapons to point defense if they are above 500 U range. Reduce base range by 50%. EMP discharges from shields. Terrifying. Saga class. It's got a paladin built in. Okay, well, Pixie did not willingly choose a paladin. Bull class. External cargo crates. Are these larges? No. More witch knots. Converted hangars. Converted hanger. Witch knots. Trucker in suffering. What a fucking cursed ship. What the fuck? More converted hanger witch knots. Alright. Salawesi, insane value nuisance. Lamia Dems, overfed magazines, swift rush. Do any of these have any, like, interesting things? Just flare launchers and fast missile racks? Ugh. I heard you like drones. Churl class. More witch knots. Are these drones? Oh my god, they are drones. No monitor. Well-advised modifications. This whole systems have been somewhat modified from spec, likely with certified engineering oversight. Its systems appear to work correctly under routine conditions and do not have any significant chance of critical malfunction when stressed. Stay safe when out there when killing AI. Just because you override safeties doesn't mean you have to be unsafe. Fireblood reactive armor. Reduces armor but increases maximum damage reduction from armor by 20%. Armor cells below half strength fire flares every 2 to 3 seconds. I'm sorry, did they make the fucking armor out of magnesium? Alright, okay, Lightning Cutie. Whose fleet is this? We are on Lightning Cutie's fleet now. Barking class. Swift Rush. Alright. A bunch of tracker cannons. After 4 hits on hull, a high explosive missile is fired at the target. This is just some Titanfall shit. Persis multi-seekers. Okay. Arctech. Ooh. Dragonfires. There's the Dragonfires. What's up with the cargo pods on Pixie's fleet? Cargo pods reduce deployment cost. Chrysaor, my beloved. I don't even need to look at this thing. Plasma micro cannon. What the fuck? Okay, that's a very aggressive Chrysaor. Attendant, built-in paladin, Dragonfire, IR pulses. Yeah. A Garuda. Seal SRMs. Dragonfires. Kabid volley guns. On impact, quantum linkages trigger a volley of additional weaker shots from the main weapon. Ooh. Interesting. Carrion, that is a phase condor. That is a phase condor. Oh! That is a partial phase condor. I see. Hits on armor or hull, puts the target into phase space for 10 seconds. Jesus Christ. Missile Auto Forge on the Garuda. Gladstone, that is a interesting sprite. More Dragonfires. Votary cluster SRMs. Okay, another phase ship. Fast missile racks. Presse? Bulwark boost, harden the outer armor layers, disable shield, increase ship's max speed by 60%, and reduce armor damage by 80%. Oh! More Dragonfires. We got some Zephoses on this one. Any other fighters that I missed? No. Just Dragonfires. Flash Beam. 385 damage small. Oh, the Shallock. Oh, I love the Shallock. The Shallock's a good one. Salamander, turrets, Dragonfires, big heavy burst on the front, heavy blaster, and of course it has entropy amps. That's going to be very scary. The Tungsten is built around the Impulse Beam Array, which just kind of throws stuff around, if I remember correctly. And it's got high energy focus to get some real damage out of that 1,000 damage per second Impulse Beam. A Tur class. This is just a reject from John. Dragonfires, Seal SRMs, Exodyne Grown Ship. While distinctly of human origin, large swaths of the inner workings of this craft remain completely alien to you and your engineering crew. May have additional effects in combat. It's got a damper field, active flares. That is the biggest fucking lasher I've ever seen. I love it. Dragonfires, heavy mortars, and a heavy needler. Beautiful. And it's still got AAF. That's gonna be horrific. Big Lasher is real. It will hurt you. Kinetic blasters. Spellbind. There's one of those spellbinds. We have the projectile randomly releases unstable energy bursts while traveling. Each burst will deal 400 damage. The projectile itself does not deal damage and will pass over ships. So this is just a reality disruptor, I think. Okay. Still got the special modifications. Energy bolt go here. Secondary flux bank. Transfers up to 800 soft flux a second into the secondary flux bank. Oh, it dissipates 100 flux per bank and store up to 4,000. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Alright. Alright, let's see what happens. Hold on. There we go. There's the free game. It's been a little while. Alright. I don't think I'm even going to remember the names of half of these ships. But our fleets are maneuvering to, you know, start firing missiles at us. Speaking of missiles, here come those Lucifuguses we saw. Lots and lots of swarm missiles. Those are the Boundless railguns we saw earlier on the Bemperor. Interesting, like, area of effect there. Lots of fire just getting exchanged. That is a lot of smart flares. The Lucifuguses are lagging. They are lagging. Lagging the game. Oh my god, the carrier! Something flung it, and the swarmers have torn it to pieces. Big Lasher trying to hold the line. A lot of flux from... Oh my god, those are the witch knots. Okay, those are the witch knots. Ooh, the Exodyne, the tour, is about to go to all of these swarmers. Witch knots just hammering that crasher. More smart flares coming out. It's not enough for all of these swarmers. Tungustan is up on the front line, starting to get hammered by the Witch Knots, which are still coming in. Look at all of these Witch Knots! Good God! Garuda went down. Inatone went down. It looks like the phase ship, the Gladstone, is about to go down. Price went down. Tur is still somehow there. Tungustan not long for this world. It overloaded, and there's another wave of Witch Knots coming in. So many Witch Knots. I don't think that the Lucifucuses have even been a factor here. This is all Witch Knots, baby. Things have settled down a little bit. The Tur goes down. The barking overloads, but there's just not anything there to capitalize on it right now. Witch Knots trying to get over the wreck of the Garuda so they can take a shot at it. There we go. And there it goes. Big EMP burst trying to take out the Witch Knot projectiles without any luck. Chrysaor just getting knocked around. Crasher finally goes down to the Lucifucuses. Here comes another wave of Witch Knots. Oh, the humanity! Tungustan is gone. Shalak has been flung across the field. Chrysaor goes down. Attendant goes down. It's just the Shalak. It's just the poor Shalak. It's just the poor Shalak. Come on, Shalak. I believe in you. You can do this. You can solo this fleet. That entropy amplifier does good work. Those Boundless Daemelis just completely shut down the Dragonfires coming out of the Shalak. And there it goes. Not quite a shame. They did manage to take down the drone trucker, but that was not close. Up next we have Arthur versus Idiopathic. Arthur with the mostly peaceful cargo fleet, and Idiopathic with the Firefly Swarm. So, we have a Slur class. Oh, boy. What a lovely name. Armored bulkheads. Extra 100 extra armor. High explosive reactive armor. Gives a 15% high explosive damage resistance until triggered. Ah, and there's one that reduces kinetic as well. Armor repair bays. Oh. So this just exists to absorb damage. Ah, taunts nearby enemies, causing them to charge in uncontrollably. And it's called a slur. I see. Yes. Very clever. Light Needler, Ashbird Groanship Hybrid. Interesting. Phase Cloak and Shield. Focused Beam Cannon. Lasma, very normal destroyer. Another Ashbird Groanship. Safety Overrides. Tunnel Oculars. Those are eyeballs. Paracognitive Avoidance generates 10% less hard flux, however its active arc is reduced by 30%. Activates a special combined active evasion suite, allowing the ship body to instinctively dodge incoming fire at the cost of stressing internal systems. Substantially boost maneuverability and speed, effect increase of safety overridden. Assault mode is engaged if the ship is accelerating forward without strafing. Aha. Gryazes, chain gun. Very short range, kinetic. Looks like a kinetic chain gun. Proximity charge launcher. Shawi's mini PD grid. Less accurate in hard points. Countless hypermaterial needles are accelerated by a conventional explosion, saturating an area and shredding any unarmored targets. So it's a flat gun. There's a cargo crate. Cargo crate spotted. Cargo crate coyote. Cargo crate coyote with more reactive armor. Naxton anomaly torpedo. And a multi-seeker. Lockout. Cargo container lockout with more multi-seekers and anomaly torpedoes. This one's got light needlers too. Sosig. Another Baldric Mark II. It's got more cargo crates. Seriously, what's the point of a Baldric Mark II if you're just going to put cargo crates on it? That's what the Baldric Mark I is for. Anomaly torpedoes, multi-seekers, mining lasers, more reactive armor, advanced burn field. 100% increased acceleration with burn drive. Another Atticus, the lard bucket, more cargo containers. Again, the theme here is converted freighters that just have cargo containers reinstalled. Stop it. Hecatocles. Oh my god, 2 Hecatocles. More anomaly torpedoes, multi-seekers, and Shaways. A transparence. Oh boy. Semi-conventional incendiary launcher. 20 shield heat. Well, shields up ship gains 20% of its current shield heat as soft flux and loses an equal amount of shield heat. All shield heat is instantly dissipated if the shield is dropped. So it increases shield upkeep at the longer it shoots at it. Compact seeker array. Each projectile deals 30 additional damage when hitting a missile or a fighter. Yeah. Corallian photon lance, heavy blaster, photon accelerator core. Active vent flux rate is increased by 20%, energy weapon projectile speed by 25%, ballistic weapon flux cost by reduced by 15%. Photon swell is generated based on ship velocity. It reduces the flux cost of energy weapons, reaching 50% reduction at 100 swell. Going over 100 swell overcharges the core, granting greater flux cost reduction at the cost of reduced shield efficiency. So at over 100 speed, it gets funky. Amida drive. Overclock on the photon accelerator core. It increases photon swell gain. Increases the top speed and slightly speeds up the flow of time on board the ship. Provides increased energy weapon damage that scales with photon swell level. And some photon swell is drained when this overclock effect expires. Homebrew fuel injector increases zero flux boost by 40%, I think here. Causes flares to eject from the engine, but they take 25% more damage. Safety removal. Completely removes safety features from the flux grid, allowing even more performance than by mere override. Increases rate of fire by 25%, capacity by 20%, zero flux boost by 25%, but weapon spread by 30%. Instead of overloading, an explosion occurs, dealing up to 40% damage and sets current flux level to half. Random malfunctions occur on high flux levels. A tramp with more cargo crates! Nasibu missile projector. Makeshift shield generator. Ugans. That is quite the ship. Dakka dispensers. These are the fleet's entire budget of superweapons right here, baby. Fires any ordnance a crew can shove into it. Also doubles as a garbage chute. Fires 12 random projectiles in a wide cone. Paracognitive avoidance generates 20% less hard flux, and the danger threshold for a threat to be dodged is doubled. More cargo crates on a converted freighter. Another Hecatocles. No, those are harpoons. Makeshift mount harpoon MRMs. That's so many harpoons. And they all have 1 ammo. What an irrelevant ship. What? It has double the cargo capacity. Bro is spending 30 DP for 4 small missiles. Bro. Sorry, not 30 DP. It is down to 5, isn't it? Oh my god, it is. 5 DP for 4 small missiles from a capital ship. Oh man. Gryze's chain gun, another Ashbird, right? That's the kinetic chain gun. Not to be confused with the assault chain gun. This is a Ginbura. It's got armor repair bays. No reactive armor on this one, but it's got shield shunt and safety overrides, heavy armor. Oh my god. Fuel combat tanker. More cargo crates. That is a Susrat. That's a reverse Tarsus. That's a backwards Tarsus with a Hecatocles. Again, 2 small missiles. Bro's spending more DP on 2 small missiles and a bomber than on 4. 2 DP. 7. Mining blasters. Blyze's drive gun. 450 range, a high explosive that converts damage to kinetic if it shoots smaller targets. Interesting. Okay. More pork. That's a big gun. Tragapoa hyper cannon. 24 ordnance point. Plasma cannon with a little bit of EMP. Okay. You see some microplasmas. 6 DP on this thing. Still spending 15 DP. There's a tracker cannon, a heavy blaster, some light needlers. Okay. Hybrid range calculation. Depending on the largest ballistic, hybrid, or universal slot on the ship, energy weapon range is increased. The largest here is small. So increase base range of small weapons and energy slots by 200. Oh, so that's a 700 range plasma micro cannon. I forgot the large gun. No, I didn't. It's a hyper cannon. It just does a bunch of damage. It's just an off-brand plasma cannon. 450 times 3 damage with a little bit of EMP. Aren't built-ins universal? It doesn't... Oh wait, that's a hybrid! Oh, that's a hybrid! Oh no! Base range of small weapons and energy slots by 400, medium weapons by 300, and large weapons by 200. So this is like a 900 range plasma cannon. More harpoons on the bull. More cargo crates on the bull. 1 DP for that thing. 3 DP for cycle missile feeds. Reloads all missile weapons quickly, generates flux when used, does not store charges, and only has a single regenerating use. Okay. There's gonna be a lot... Mini mining blaster. Oh my god. Scoot. More missiles. 3 DP. Just more harpoons. A Barak with a tactical laser and a Grim Reaper. One ammo that deals 4,000 damage. Maybe the no copy clause was a mistake. The no copy clause was a mistake because I'm not familiar with any of these fleets or mods. If I'd actually used these mods, I would be much more familiar. Isn't that just a Reaper? I think the Reaper is only like 2,000. No, it is. This is a Reaper with tracking. Guys, this is a Reaper with tracking. More Kabad volley guns. We saw those. More Hecatocles. Holdriad flak batteries. Those are upscaled. Those are upscaled heavy machine guns. Fragmentation. Ooh. Okay. Defensive targeting array for Hecatocles. Okay. Finally, some new stuff. Pebbles. Manned mining vessel with cargo holds filled with reactive material. It has high explosive reactive armor. IR pulse laser and 2 mining lasers. Martyr pilots. Fighters are exclusively piloted by fanatics who attempt to crash into their target once they have taken heavy damage. Once a fighter is below 50% hull, it turns into a missile that deals high explosive damage equal to its maximum hull. So 500 damage missiles, 9 of them. Perytonne, isn't the Perytonne banned? Huh. It does say that the Perytonne is repurposed, not repurposed, restricted, but I've not been keeping up with the rules, so... enhanced rack adapter, 4 times more ammunition to a limited amount of small missiles, weapons mounted in medium slots. Limits based on weapon... Oh. 4 times more ammo to these sprockets. Perytonne legal, Perytonne banned. Okay, alright. Litterer Merv racks. Saturation torpedoes. And Idiopathics fleet. I was told this one's gonna piss me off. When ship is phased, has a brief duration of boosted maneuverability and max speed. Aura circles the ship. Any missiles that entering the zone will have their velocity reduced by 20%. Effect is stackable with its ship system. Teleports a heavy phase mine to the target area that slowly tracks nearby enemy ships, slowing any missiles in a certain radius and explodes a few seconds after its proximity trigger is activated. I see. Armor repair bays, Lilin missile coils, flamers, Tremor MRMs. That is a repurposed resonator. Yeah, that is a high explosive resonator, it looks like. Flamer, mining blaster. There's another dakka dispenser. Combio cluster flak. I quit, former fighter pilot. Copperheads. Peridolia cannon. High explosive, 1000 range, 250 damage. Combio, cluster flax. Squall, Firefly MRMs. Deals an additional 400 frag damage on impact. Terrific. Oh, that's a lot of Fireflies. FS-79s, which have ion cannons and light machine guns. Another Perytonne. Chillblain catalyst missile, that's 2 of them. More Fireflies, twin combios, Marcus deck gun, side rate to the heavy mauler, traces the stopping power of the mauler's signature 3-round burst for sustained fire with an advanced autoloader. So this is a this is like a pre-nerf mauler, I guess. Another Firefly on a Hermes Mark II. Free samples, indeed. Tur with more fireflies. Yep. Cobb with purses. Unstable injector. What's the system on this thing? Just burn drive. Yeah. More fireflies. Semi-conventional incendiary launchers. Micropulse repeaters. Safety overrides. More fireflies. Canister flak launcher. That is... What the fuck? 10? That's a 60 DP capital ship for 10 DP with a Terra cannon? Projectiles explode, dealing up to 400 energy damage. It fires 3 2,000 energy damage projectiles every 21 seconds. Ugh. And it's got these Superflux superchargers. Generates points of supercharge for every 2, 5, or 12 points of energy weapons. Energy weapons gain 33% more damage and fire rate at the cost of 50% increased flux cost. So... That's a 69 ordnance point weapon. I don't think it's benefiting here. Nice, though. Coyote, interceptor array, more fireflies. What's the interceptor array do? Point defense. Oh, so it's a energy flat gun. More Persises. There's a lot of Persises in both of these fleets. Another Centurion. More fireflies on a boxer. What the fuck is that? Scoliosis. I think I've fought this thing in a fucking IBB. Jesus Christ. Canister flax, mining. More fireflies. An ashy, more fireflies. Got a cargo container with some more combios, copperheads. More fireflies and FS-79s on the Audie-farer. More fireflies on the Bull. Wouldn't you know it, the Strick has more fireflies. Sable has more fireflies. Spamela Anderson. It's got a Periodolia too. Revizor. Chevalier PD systems. When all sub-beams impact a target in close proximity to each other, the spalling effect produces an explosion that deals 100 fragmentation damage to other nearby targets. Ooh. Another chillblain on this Trout, and a Devastator for a little bit of point defense. This one does not have fireflies. Also, there's a cram gun here. Conventional rocket accelerated munition gun. Okay. That's basically it. It's just here to take punishment. Alright, okay. Ugh, sorry. Let's keep an eye on that Transcendence. I feel like that Transcendence is one to watch here. But there are also some very interesting ships on the other side. Here come the mines. Trying to take out that slur. I think the missiles are going... Yeah, the missiles get the slur. There's so many missiles. Lasma is down. I don't know what missile is what. All I know is there are a lot of fucking missiles right now. Holy Jesus. What is happening? There go the dakka dispensers firing off some big projectiles over here. There's so many missiles all across the entire line. What is happening? I think that Baldric is about to pop. Coyote died. No idea where. There's just fireflies everywhere. Lockout goes down to the fireflies. Looks like that Brigantine, I think that is not long for this world as more fireflies come in. Baldric Mark II finally dies. How was it still alive in the first place? Barkatine goes down. Scrick goes down. Nihilo goes down. The ground ship is trying its best, but there's so many fireflies. Ugans goes down. Dominatrix goes down. Transcendence is still active, trying to chase down the scoliosis without any luck. Bull goes down. Gallivanter does die. Oh god, the fireflies. There's so many of them. The smart players do nothing. Ah. This is gonna ruin my voice. Transparence is starting to run out of CR, as is the Genbura here. They can't even get close enough to engage with all these fireflies everywhere. Is that a chillblain that just hit the Genbura? What is that effect? It doesn't matter, the Genbura is dead. Starliner died, Admonition died when I wasn't looking. Oh my god, I feel like 80% of tournaments come down to who finds the most spammable thing and spams. I think we might have found this one. I don't know, the Witch Knots are also a strong contender here. I think the Witch Knots are one to watch here. Tramp Mark II goes down, no big surprise. The Oculatus is really going to town here with that flamethrower. I mean, I'm not super surprised that Javanica with cargo containers is not doing super well. It might get the scoliosis. Scott goes down, Sustrak goes down, Perytonne goes down, Pingvins goes down, Churl goes down. Javanica's still hanging on. Scoliosis still somehow here. Nope, there it goes. Javanica is gone, and the Idiopathic has swept Arthur off the field. Whew. Up next, we have Amazing and Mr. Magalore. Now, there was supposed to be a fourth match of... who was it? Right. It was supposed to be Hooch versus Bird Wanderer, but Hooch had to drop out, so Bird Wanderer will just advance straight to round 2. But, so for our last round, for our last match of round 1, we have Amazing with the awesome ASSnarchy fleet versus Mr. Magalore's evil sandwich-making guys. So we have another Lion class with its beautiful Terra cannon. Blade cannons. Okay, that is a lot of fucking damage. 2,000 damage? High explosive at 1,000 range? Rhino cannons deal about 900 kinetic damage with a little bit of high explosive as well. Got some shield projectors, more cargo containers, bringing it down to 36 DP. More Fireblood reactive armor, ungoverned ballistic loader. Wait, the blade is beam? Oh, it is beam. The tier class battleship. That is a funky looking ship. That looks like a Subnautica critter. It's Paranoid Bulkhead Replacement. Built from the ground up to never break before its neutronium feedstock armature does. Making it so always recoverable after combat. It's laid out such that crew losses due to hull damage are reduced by 50%. If the ship were to reach hull integrity and be destroyed, instead it enters Meltdown. While in Meltdown, it activates emergency repair protocols, which render the hull immune to damage. At the cost of rapidly decreasing combat readiness and completely disabled weapon and engine repairs. Meltdown ends when the ship reaches 0 combat readiness, or the ship activates integrity restoration protocols. Oh! Repairs a chunk of hull integrity and fires a large number of flak canisters with variable time proximity fuses all around the ship, dealing high explosive damage. Semi-fitting ballistic mounts. Ballistic weapon rate of fire is reduced by 50%. got a Shatterer and a Rhino, and that looks to be literally it. Spending about 22 DP to field this thing. No gods can see this con slot. That is incredibly cursed. Rhino Cannon, TPC, Heavy Blaster, Cobbed Volley Gun, Energy Conduit Overcharger, Energy Weapon Damage increased by 15%. Deployment points increased by 10%, Overload Duration increased, and Flux Capacity reduced. Still at 28 DP. Hybrid range calculation for the Heavy Blaster. More Fireblood armor. No gods, no masters for the Conslot and the Onquest. They look to be pretty similar, though the Onquest has another external cargo container in place of the Rhino, presumably to get its DP down even lower. Babarusa, another one of these. That is a lot of Nausea bombers and Hecatocles bombers. Vast reserves. Increases all ammo and decreases fighter replacement rate by 50%. I assume that means the rate at which fighter replacement rate decreases. Hypervelocities, Persis, missile racks, normal stuff. More cargo containers. Spending 35 DP on this thing. The free market Garuda 14 with Kufikri smart cannons, Newport linear rifles, Cockatrice DEM torpedoes, large external cargo containers, 26 DP, Threve class with a pair of rhinos and some cargo containers. Okay. Atticus, do as you want, do as you wish. Yeah. More rhinos, some longbows. Silaha linear cannon. Can be fired over allied vessels. Oh, okay. Trout with another Silaha. Galiz. Nihilo. Mini thumpers on this Baldric. Salawesi with some tack lasers. And a Perytonne with a chillblain. I should see what the chillblain actually does. I didn't even look at it. Energy field randomly arcs to any nearby vessels, and after 5 seconds it collapses. Any vessel within the field takes energy damage scaling with their size and mass. Oh! Okay. And Mr. Magalore's fleet, we have, Albatrios Babarusas, Heaven's Mace canister catapults, broadswords, claws, and wasps, a Lafayette. This is a Neteo. Philia mag missiles, super modular, super flux, supercharger. Pulse lasers, Newports. Lilins, exotic structure. Engine repair rate increased. Kinetic damage taken by hull and armor is reduced. Pritzel flux coherer. Energy weapon damage and flux cost increased. Active vent rate increased. Receives the full flux rate. The full vent rate bonus when it has no hard flux generated. Scales down based on what portion of current flux is hard flux. And unhinged chrono flow. A Grandum. Ufikris, Dorubas, Combios, Cram Guns, Gazers, Harpoons, the normal stuff, Hypershot Munitions. Every third shot from the Dorubas will trigger 2 120 fragmentation damage missiles. Every fifth shot triggers a 600 fragmentation damage torpedo. Really sorry about that. Really sorry about the coughing. Black Disco LIGM. Low intensity gamma maser. Oh no. Ion driver. Okay. More superflux superchargers. Lots of these gamma masers. Are those grazers? More Salahas on a Nebel. Not sure what a Nebel is. Temporal microburn. Hypervelocity drivers, Lilins, more tremors, Tereshkov strike missiles, Lebrook missile foundry, missile weapon ammo capacity increased by 100%, missile weapon rate of fire increased by 30%, missile weapon ammo regeneration increased by 45%, missile hit points increased by 25%, fabricates a pair of enhanced Swarmer SRMs every 6 seconds, up to 24 can be stored and they automatically launch at any enemy within 800 range. The internal SRMs are compatible with expanded missile racks. Oh. Okay. Sable, that's a very front-heavy build. Blastmax Recoilless. Alvarius Averting Gun. Nasabu Missile Projectors. High-intensity laser, graviton beams, beam coherent, beam consonance again. Increases their damage by 20%. Could be very fun here. Claw fighters, broadswords, fighter manipulators, supercharged nearby ally fighters, increasing damage by... Oh my god! And finally, an Alcott class. With Persis, a Spellbind, and twin combios with Phase Anchor. Okay. Such a fat fucking fleet. Yeah, that's enough reading for the year. Now we can just watch the battles. We can really blast through this now that we spent an hour reading ships and weapon descriptions. So I can get up to speed on what everything is. We've got a very, like, super ship-focused fleet, it seems. Between the Neteo and the funny... what is it? The... Nebel. That's what it is. The Nebel. Yeah, between the Neteo and the Nebel, I think we have a very super ship-focused fleet. The Alcott... I don't know what I think the Alcott's gonna do here. The Persis Multi-Seekers are doing a lot of work against that Trout, but I don't think I expected much from the Trout in the first place. A lot of fire coming out from those Rhinos. Garuda trying to shoot through the Alcott. Blade cannons striking the Alcott. I think we're going to see that Alcott pop very shortly. The Salawesi is not long for this world. There it goes. Alcott still hanging on. A lot of fire pivoting onto the Sable, which is just letting the Alcott get away with murder right now, firing off so many missiles. There's a couple hits. A couple good hits coming on the Alcott. It's so close to dying, but Phase Anchor kicks in and it retreats. Apogee Mark II goes down. Belize goes down. Sable goes down as well. Bombers starting to come in. Najas from the Barbarossa. Not seen a whole lot from the Neteo yet. There's a lot of missile standoff going on right now. Oh my god, those are not even normal thermal pulse cannons. They fire spreads of projectiles. The Onquest and Conslaught are ganging up on this Mercari. I don't think it's going to last very long. Inatone about to go down. Garuda getting a very good kill off there. It's looking like Amazing has got this. A lot of slow pushing from Amazing's many big capital ships. And I just don't think that Mr. Magalore's ships have any answer left to these things. Sorry. kind of just at a point where they're staring down at each other. The Grandum, unfortunately, does not look like it's going to get a whole lot done here. It's going to get torn apart by those blade cannons from the Lion. I want to see that Terra Cannon fire. There it goes! Oh my god! They didn't lie. That Terra Cannon do hit. Grandum is immediately It's just immediately just atomized. Threve is overloading. I don't think that there's anything left to really capitalize on this. Babirusa, because it doesn't have any bombers, is not deploying its fighters very aggressively. It's kind of just holding all of those broadswords back. So there's just a massive amount of kinetic damage getting wasted. Nebel finally goes down. Chillblain goes off on the Babirusa. But there's a lot of friendly ships in the radius of the Chillblain. It's just the Neteo left. It's trying to kill the tier without much luck. What the fuck is that? Is it a parabolic weapon? From the Shatterers? Oh my god, they're parabolic. Why? Sorry. Okay. So, now I need to go and set up our round 2. I need to go and set up our round 2 matches, and I will be back in a few minutes. I also need to go get some fresh air before I die. Okay. Alright. So, for round 2, we have 2 matches. Bird Wanderer, who have just realized that we have to take a look at Bird Wanderer's fleet because they weren't in round 1. That is a Neteo with a dakka dispenser. That is a Neteo with a dakka dispenser. The what? Huh? Pylum fighters? Pylum fighters with ECCM. External flux conduits. Shield projectors. Garuda with more pylums, and it's got winnower LRMs. Okay, those are energy LRMs. That's terrifying. Lots of shield projectors. I see some makeshift harpoons with the expanded missile racks? Question mark? Teikawas, more pylums. More... why expanded missile racks? What? Why did you put expanded missile racks on pylums? I guess because the magazine? Whatever. Otis frigate with a phase disruptor. Hits on hull, pull the target and surrounding ships into phase space for a short duration. Hermes Mark II with pylums. Bull with pylums. Gladstone with pylums. A Churl with gunbeds and pylums. A Tramp Mark II with a pylum. A Dram Mark Equal with a single cram and ECCM. Huh? What? Oh my god, it's got a Nintendo missile array. It's got a micro missile launcher. And a Perytonne with pylums. So many pylums. Okay, alright. So we have Amazig's, like, very well-proven capital ship fleet against the pylum spam. So many fucking pylums. Holy shit, look at all these pylums. The question is, can the pylums actually make contact and do damage before Amazig just bowls over this entire fleet? So Galiz has already died to the dakka dispenser Neteo. Dakka dispenser Neteo is just kind of committed to taking a lot of damage onto its hull without any real recourse. Pylum starting to come in on that tier. That is so much fucking damage on the tier. Finally, we're seeing some actual damage on the tier, but it gets phased out! The phase disruptor! Neteo manages to disengage long enough to kill itself, it seems. More pylums coming in. They're hammering the Garuda now. I don't think they really have any chance of getting past these shielded ships. That Baldric could be in serious trouble, though. Yeah, pylums are gonna get that Baldric. More missiles coming in on the tier. It's regenerated a big chunk of its hull. More pylums. Lion takes down one of the tramps with the blade cannons. That is the Atticus that is just overloaded. Can they capitalize? Here comes a bunch of harpoons to fucking try. Holy shit. But not quite enough. It looks like the Atticus is gonna get away with it. Takes a little bit more damage onto its hull. The dram, the sideways dram has died. Tier still taking more damage. Just regenerating it away. Gets phased out again. Looks like that bull is about to go to the onslaught. Sorry, that's the Onquest. More missiles coming in onto the Onquest, but they cannot get through shields, and it's just spewing flares all over the place. There are so many ways to dispense flares in this mod pack. I think trying to do pylons like this without ECCM is actually suicide. But all of the missiles are being drawn to the tier, which is allowing the Onquest to just tear through the flank over here. And the Threve is doing a pretty good job of shielding for the tier. Which, in turn, also just has a massive amount of point defense in the form of canister flak. Here comes the Consulate to take out the, Barbarous. My god. I don't think that, I don't think Bird Wanderer has any follow-through to actually damage amazing ships here. Like, it was a very impressive opening salvo, and the tier just ate all of it. Like, just so much damage potential has been wasted exclusively on the tier. And it just regenerates all of the damage it takes. There is still a Garuda active over here. I don't know how long that's going to be the case. The Atticus just slips by on the skin of its teeth. There's no health remaining on that ship. Yeah, just gone. Up next we have Pixie versus Idiopathic, the grudge match that occurs every fucking tournament. Can the Bemper conquer Idiopathic's bullshit? There's a lot of Fireflies in Idiopathic's fleet. I'm thinking about it. I really don't know. Oh god, right. Pixies is the fleet with the, Lucifuguses. There's gonna be so many missiles going both ways! The EMP railguns could get a lot of value here as well. Sideways Buffalo is gone. Baldric Mark II is gone. That Oculatus is such a problem. Such an obnoxious little ship. Firefly's coming down. I think that's the Bemper about to go. Ooh, no, no. Bemper is stubbornly clinging to life, refusing to die. Unfortunately, it's getting assailed by a monitor, and I don't think that's gonna I don't think it has enough firepower to deal with a monitor so casually. Just so many missiles going both ways. But neither fleet is particularly lacking in, like, answers to missiles. The Revizor actually goes down, but the Saga also goes down. The Ravis and the Atticus both detonate at the same time. I don't even know what hit them there. I wasn't even looking. There are so many missiles going both ways, you blink and you miss something. More fire coming out of the Javanicus, and my eyes are on that Javanicus. I really think that the Javanicus is the ship to watch here, but that is a massive, massive blob of Witch Knots trying to push in, trying to do something. There's so many of them. Salawesi goes down, Brigador and Ashy go down. Pixie is taking a lot more attrition than Idiopathic here, and the Witch-Knots are trying, bless them, but there's just so many missiles coming at them, they can't seem to do anything. But no matter how many Witch-Knots Idiopathic kills, there's always more. Besides, the Lion got out of position. The Witch-Knots have killed the Lion. The Perytonne goes down. Pixie is starting to catch up. The script goes down. More Fireflies coming out of the Javanicus, but the Javanicus' EMPs shut him down. What are the Witch-Knots all doing up there? There's just a massive clump of them closing on that bull. Bull down. Now they're pivoting onto the Super Buffalo. Oh my god, the Witch-Knots. This is the best showing we've seen from a Babirusa this entire tournament. The Witch-Knots from that Babirusa, the Churl, and the Carnix are so clutch right now. Absolutely tearing apart Idiopathic's anchors. Idiopathic's fleet is basically gone at this stage. I think Pixie has got it. Now there's just a couple of ships to be cleaned up. There is a Javanica and an Ashy for Idiopathic as well, which are going to prove very effective against these Witch-Knots, if, you know, the showing that the Bemperor has given us is any indication. But I just think that Pixie has the better equipped ships for actual ship-to-ship combat with the Bemperor's railguns. There are still a couple of Lucifugus swarmers, but they are being completely shut down by the EMP. The Witch-Knots get it though. Ashy goes down. More torpedoes coming out at the Javanicus, trying to make contact without any luck. There's so many Witch-Knots. Oh my god! The Alpha Strike from those Witch-Knots is insane! You can barely even see the Javanicus anymore. Centurion LP dies to the Bemperor. Sable dies to the Bemperor. I think it's just the Audiefarer left, getting shoved around by those Witch-Knots. No, the Tur is still alive. The Tur is still alive, but there are still Swarmer missiles to tear it apart. And there it goes. Idiopathic has been taken out. The Bemperor advances. That means that our final match is going to be between Pixie and Amazing. So I'm going to be right back while I set that up. Okay. Alright. I really should set up a smoother transition, but... hotkeys. So, we have the boys bulbous Imperial drones versus the awesome-ass Anarchy fleet. We know both of these fleets by now, so let's see who comes out on top. Also, to answer a question I just saw in chat, the intermission music is the Redout 2 original soundtrack. That track was Spirit's Peak. There are some copyrighted songs in the Redout 2 OST, so I just have a playlist without them. But Redout 2 is a really cool racing game if you like F-Zero or whatever. You should go check it out. But anyways, chilling for a completely different game aside, let's get into the tournament. So, let's see. The Bempire versus Amazig's Capital Ship Foundry over here. Who will come out on top? Now, that tier could be a massive obstacle to the Imperial drones here, because we have seen that these Witch Knots are a massive problem for everyone that tries to face the Emperor so far, but the tier can just absorb so much punishment, it might be able to wear them out. Long enough for the Onquest and Conslaught to actually do some real damage there. Here comes the opening volleys of Swarmers, hoping to get some early kills. There is not a lot of PD on Amazig's fleet because it's all from the tier, which has not attracted any missile fire yet, which could bode very well for the Emperor here. No, there are some missiles starting to draw towards the tier. It looks like that Baldric Mark II is starting to draw railgun fire from the Janica, which may just be the end of the Baldric if the Janica commits, which it doesn't look like it will. That Saga is way overextended and going to take a massive amount of damage. There's a chillblain active now, going to do a lot of friendly fire here by the looks of it though. Manages to take out the Atticus outright instantaneously, and the Saloesi in the blast. Almost nabs the Galsteel as well. That Chillblain, massive value for Amazing, instantly removing the Atticus. Trout, probably not long for this world. Lots and lots of Witch Knot fire coming out on Amazig's Atticus. Ashy taking a shot from the Terra Cannon is now wide open to follow-up fire if there is any to be found. Tier is still just shrugging off incoming fire. I'm noticing that there is not a lot of concentration from the Witch Knots. They are just kind of engaging stuff, which is not necessarily to the Emperor's advantage here. Wants those Witch Knots to, well, you know, lob up and all hit the same target. And it looks like the only target they all intend to hit at the same time is the tier, but the tier has entered Meltdown. The tier has entered Meltdown. We're finally seeing a Meltdown from the tier. Ashy goes down, Onquest goes down. Tier regenerating a lot of health out of Meltdown mode, still taking fire from Witch Knots though. And there's still just more coming in. Another Chillblain goes off. No kills from this one. Another Meltdown mode for the tier, but it manages to pull itself out. Janica engaging the Garuda. Tier finally goes down to the swarms of Witch Knots. Garuda probably next from the swarms of Witch Knots. There it goes. 14th Garuda is down. Conslaught is getting pressured by Witch Knots now. Trout goes, Atticus goes, Perytonne probably the next big target that the Witch Knots over here are going to obliterate. Lion is way in the back where it's not really contributing anything to this fight, leaving its Babarusa just hanging out in the breeze where those Witch Knots can do horrible things. More more Witch Knots coming down on that Apogee. Somehow that Saloesi is still kicking. Babarusa is next on the chopping block, though. Witch Knots massing for another push. Just firing projectiles in random directions all around the Babarusa. Anywhere it goes, it's a solid wall of missiles. And with the Babarusa down, Amazing has lost most of their fighter coverage and basically all of their point defense. And there goes the Conslots. There are not even any flares to fall back on now. It's just the Lion standing alone against the Vampire. And another wave of Witch Knots coming in. The Syndrian Diktat logo flashes over the Lion as patriotic fervor overtakes the crew to no benefit. The Witch Knots keep coming. The hull is going to fail. There it goes. The Lion is down. All that remains is the Nihilo. And down it goes. 90% of the Imperial drones remain. Insane value nuisance. Died instantaneously, though. Not very good value, I would say. Nonetheless, absolutely insane. The Bemperor claims another tournament victory. The Witch Knots have proven that they probably need to be nerfed. Like 1,000 damage. 1,000 damage high explosive torpedoes in packs of 5. Good God. The Unending Tide Forge mod actually is probably the more egregious offender here than the Witch Knots. Just so many fighters. So many fighters. Javanica also did some very good work here. The Voyage Bemperor himself. The Daemelis were absolutely integral to picking off a lot of key frontline targets. And there's just so many Witch Knots. So many fucking Witch Knots. And of course the cargo crates. Also, I just want to say, I want to be clear here. Like, this thing, this sideways buffalo, I hate this. This is awful. This is awful, and I don't think anybody should have made this. But anyways, that will be it for the tournament. Congratulations to Pixie Code and the Bempire for another tournament victory. Thank you all for joining me. I'm going to go die because this has done horrible things to my voice. And I will hopefully see you all for maybe the next tournament or the tournament after. I don't know. I would not object to somebody else taking over for a bit. But nonetheless, congratulations to our winners. Everyone have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Bye-bye.